Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brett Keane. I am going to be responding to an atheist YouTuber out there who didn't take very kindly to the video I created called "It is immoral and unethical for atheists to breed and bring babies into this world." Did you know that if you were to type into YouTube atheist children or atheist babies, you will literally see parents scripting their children to get on video and cuss and yell and talk trash to other YouTubers or sit there in dirty diapers? Okay, let's do this. Let's get pointless up this bitch. That they don't ever want to have babies because they know they're immature, they're inexperienced, and they're not responsible enough even to take care of their own damn self. I've always pointed out throughout my entire 11 years on YouTube that I think that trolls are disgusting. I don't like people who get amusement out of hurting other people or causing any kind of harm. And that's why whenever I look at the many passages in the Bible where non-believers are destroyed and annihilated and completely wiped out, I'm thinking to myself, finally, what took them so long? You see, I don't see all atheists as the same. I see some atheists as horrible, some as shitty, some as crappy, some as terrible. And it always tends to be atheists. They kept their word. They took the atheists out in the street, beat their ass. A couple of them ended up going a little bit too far and chopping some of their heads off. Have you ever noticed that there's two types of retarded people out there, ladies and gentlemen? Because if you're a retarded ass piece of crap atheist who can't even take care of yourself, you shouldn't bring children into the world so you can make them miserable and horrible with your hopeless nothingness death-bringing religion called atheism. After spending 11 years with atheists, I can honestly say that it's nothing but a bucket of drool, nothing but sliding Hershey Road shit, going absolutely nowhere. But atheists can't really, they don't have any kind of objective morals, so what are they going to teach their children? Well, children, we ought to be nice, we ought to do this. But we can clearly see whenever we see these young people who are atheists that are on YouTube videos that they don't have any kind of social discourse whatsoever.
Hello again, Brett. I just wanted to start by making it clear that this will be the last video response I make for you. After doing some research, I've found out that you are definitely a troll and that you've been described as a bladder of hot air by other YouTubers. But let's go on to the actual content. You did actually say something good in your second video, so I wanted to start by acknowledging that. So let's roll that clip.
If you actually think that it's a fantastic thing to have a baby, then take care of the babies that are already here. Take care of the babies that are starving. Take care of the babies that are raised by single mothers where they have a difficult time clothing their children because they don't have that extra partner, or they don't have the money to be able to pay a babysitter so they can go off to get a good job to be able to take care of their family.
Now, see, I agree with you. I don't think that we do enough for single mothers in general. I don't think we do enough for single parents. I think that they should be educated. They should be allowed to be in a position where they can afford being a single parent. But I don't have to do so exclusively. I can still have children and help these single mothers. I don't even need to marry them to assist them in other ways. So one's not exclusive from the other, though. But let's go on to the actual heart of your video. So what's your claim?
If you are an atheist and you're thinking at all that you want to reproduce or continue on your genes, I say no.
Sure. Why do you say that?
Because if the world has no hope and it all ends in death anyway, and all this life is pain and very few good experiences where you eat a cookie one day or you swim on the beach, then why bother? The value level seems a little bit too low.
So that's your outlook on life. See, I think life's awesome, and I'll take the bad with the good. Let's hear what else you have to say.
And why would you want to take responsibility of a child? Why would you want to feel any kind of connection with a child for? Why would you want to be a father? You still haven't explained why it would be rational.
See, because children are pretty freaking awesome. That's why I want to bond with them. Also, bonding with others is, including children, is one of the highlights of life. I think that you're also confusing rational with logical. It's not sufficient enough for me to want to do something or enjoy doing something to do it. It's completely rational. It's not necessarily a logical or not a logical thing. And that's true unless there's sufficient reason for me not to. But let's see where you go with this thought.
So you want to have a baby because it feels good. Well, isn't that interesting? There's a lot of 15-year-old, 14-year-old girls out there who got knocked up by boys because at the moment it felt good. And look at the type of situation that these young girls find themselves in whenever these guys don't want to take responsibility for their children.
See, slandering every teenage mother and every woman who's been a teenage mother is probably not the wisest route to go. But I mean, if that's what you want to do, go for it. So what's your next great thought?
As an atheist, you have no future. Your future ends in a cold, dying universe. Your future goes with you becoming non-existent, destroyed. There's nothing worth or valuable, according to an atheist, why you should continue to exist or live in any kind of way.
See, for me and many others, it's not about what happens after death. It's about what happens while we're living that makes life pretty awesome. See, there's poetry, music, dance, arts, sports, bonding, intimacy. All these things rock. And you see, life is this wonderful thing that should be celebrated as often as possible. And I also feel that anybody, especially in a free country, who has the means of doing so, who wants to procreate, should. Because they want to. And because it feels good. Being a parent, loving somebody else, bonding with other people, great thing. But I did want to clarify one thing for you, Brett, and for the audience. So, let's see what I meant when I said... Have you ever noticed that getting a punch in your mouth can really make you think twice and make you think, man, what I said was wrong? Now, just a question. Have you ever thought about punching yourself in the face before or after making your videos? Actually, that'd be great. Make a video, then punch yourself in the mouth, and then that maybe cause you to think about whether you should upload this shit or not. Which was in response to this.
I think that it really changes the perspective of some people whenever they finally get their ass kicked. There's nothing like getting punched in the mouth and then realizing that, wow, wait a minute. It's like it knocks your brain into place, and all of a sudden you say to yourself, damn, what I was saying was pretty wrong. What I was saying was nasty. Maybe the next time I decide to open my mouth, I ought to think before I speak. That way I don't have to take a punch to the mouth.
Now, see, I think, Brett, that the rest of the audience gets what I meant. I didn't actually think that when I wrote that you would actually punch yourself in the face. That's not what I meant. What I meant is, and actually what I was hoping, it's not really about what I meant, but what I was hoping is that you'd realize that what you said about getting punched in the face really applies more to you than to anybody who's actually making other videos. See, you're a troll. You see, if you got punched in the face because you're a troll, you know what, if you don't get it, I'm sorry. Well, Brett, it's been good knowing you. Have a nice life. I will let you have the last word, though. Cowabunga.
So he describes my video as pointless, incoherent, irrational, babbling, and he's probably got a bunch of other things on the top of his head that he could probably describe my video under many different definitions of dull and horrible and blah, 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 blah. That's willful retardation, and that is unforgivable in my mind.